Good morning, everyone. This is Andrea Swain Martin with Andrea Cans, and there's my handsome husband, Kem Martin. And he's going to do some vacuum sealing of beans he got on sale here not too long ago. And he's going to show you how that process works.
Hi, everyone. As you know, we kind of do some prepping ahead for when we need to. And a week or so ago, we wanted to have some ham and beans. And I went down and she, you won't believe it, we're out of navy beans. And she said, no. I said, yeah. So, being the shopper I am, she sent me out to go buy some more beans.
Kem's the shopper of the family, that is for sure.
So navy beans. I've never done pinto beans, but they're a bean. And then I got some light red kidney beans for making homemade chili. So I thought, well, maybe the pinto beans will go good for that, or we can make ham and beans out of them too. They're pretty close to the navy beans. But we need to put some stores on the shelf so we can, if we want to make homemade chili, or if we want a ham and beans, or if we just want a batch of beans. We got some beans on the shelf other than going to the store and buying a can and opening it up. And, you know, you're paying twice as much as what you would for if you buy a big bag of that and make about 12 meals out of it. So today I'm going to vacuum can these. It's a simple process.
I forgot to get you a funnel.
By God, you did. But I think I might be able to handle
You
this.
think so? Okay.
This is the bag that we started with earlier for making some ham and beans because we just had a cold weather day and wanted to have some ham and beans. And it's cold today too. It's only, I think last time I looked, it's only like 3 degrees outside and very windy with a wind chill of 14. So the polar vortex is down here and we have no snow on the ground to make it even worse. But we're gonna put away beans, vacuum style. So
Now, if you've watched any of my our vacuum canned videos before, you know that I'm a stickler on clean jars. But typically when you can with wet items, you don't have to worry about them being dry. Whereas here, I clean and sterilize these jars and I let them dry for at least a week so I know that they're good and ready to go. The last thing you want to do is pour dry ingredients into a wet jar. That causes mold.
yeah, no wet, no wet.
Yeah. So you just want to make sure your jars are clean and sterilized and completely dry. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and your money.
This is a simple process. You fill them up, get all your jars full. You're gonna put your lids on them, and we're gonna suck them down with that. So I will fill this jar. I'll show you one of those real quick.
And for new canners, this is just a really easy way for meal preparedness and also putting things away for a later date. I'm so excited. I was able to get a hold of the Christmas ham bone, and probably in the next week we will be cooking off some ham and beans, which is delicious, with homemade cornbread.
I'll get this jar filled up, and then I'll do a quick vacuum pack, and then I'll get these filled up, and you can watch me vacuum pack some more of them.
Were these guys on sale, do you think? I can't recall how you got a hold of them, honey.
I buy everything on sale for a reasonable cost. I think those Dakotas, these navy beans, probably cost me $1.30.
Right.
These were at Save a Lot. I know I only paid like $1.25 for those. Not Save a Lot, but at Sullivan's. And these are Aldi's. And so yeah, probably not much more than $1.50
Sure.
per bag, but you're gonna, well, you spend that in what, 3 or 4 cans of buying the same stuff
Right.
repetitiously, then you get more this way. So this is our handy dandy little handheld unit. It's not as fancy as the big vacuum sealer, but it's That's my indoor walk-in cooler right now, and I ain't going out there, so. So we'll just use the little guy today, which does a wonderful job of just pulling down a vacuum. And this one, you just kind of listen to it because it doesn't stop automatic like the Food Saver does. You just listen to its tone. It'll let you know when it's done. I don't think that's pulling down.
See if there's a mar in the lid, sweetheart, or the jar. I mean.
Sometimes it's my fault.
It's giving you grief and mischief, isn't it?
It does sometimes. It looks fine.
One more time, then we'll have to try a new jar. You guys,
No, this is
if
one of
there's
those
there's a
not
one,
good lids, but I was wanting to try it anyway. But
is it one of the generics?
yeah,
Typically, they're pretty good for vacuum sealing.
we'll try that one again, and then I'll put 4 jars on it.
There you go. Sometimes you have to be a little more manhandly with those. Here it goes. Hear it? Manhandly.
Looking higher toned. Usually run at about 39, about 40 seconds. Then it doesn't change the tone much after that. It'll just sit there and keep a draw on it the whole time. All right, let's see if that's sealed down this time.
Ta-da!
Oh yeah, look at that.
Good job.
Vacuum sealed.
It's just being fussy with you.
Jeez.
Yes, Jess.
We'll do one more, and I've got a bunch of jars to fill, and then you can watch me debate whether I've got good lids, good jars. The fight will be on because it won't be a fight. It just happens. It's not the same process as jarring. I know we're talking this week. We got a few potatoes downstairs. Might be skinning off and doing some tater pressure canning. So
Yeah, we need to do that.
that might happen this week sometime.
Rhea was kind enough to bring home to Illinois 50 pound bags that only cost me $10 from Minnesota. And I knew of this farm up in Minnesota. I lived there for 26 years, and it's in Big Lake, Minnesota. They grow potatoes up there. The soil is much like over in Idaho, and they're delicious potatoes. We just can't get to them all at once, and so they're just the two of us. So we'll do some pressure canning of those. Hopefully this week is kind of my goal. I have tomorrow off too, so maybe we can do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done. So that's all you have to do with the vacuum sealing of dry goods like this. Again, you want good dry jars, and you just need to make sure that they're dry so that when you put your dry product in, it doesn't molder. And we'll come back to you here in just a few minutes so you can see Tim's progress.
I have a few more bags to go through, people.
Bye.
See you in a bit. Hi, everyone. Jars are full. I'm going to run through these real quick, get these done. This thing will do both regular mouth and wide mouth. It adapts. Go on there. Oh, I'm fighting myself today for some reason. Get her screwed down. It's a handy little unit. You just got to put it on correctly. It can fight with you a little bit, but It'll do what you need it to do. If you don't have a lot of space, say you live in a little bitty apartment, you want to buy some of these and put them away so you don't get vermin, moisture, bugs, any of that go in. You can always get a few jars, buy a few lids, vacuum seal them down. They'll sit right there on your shelves. They'll be just fine and dandy until you're ready to have them.
Initially, we did not have the small little guy. We had used our big old food saver with the nozzle and the caps, and it works really well too, don't get me wrong, but this is really convenient if you have just a couple of jars you want to put away. I use the big food saver if I'm putting away lots of sugar or those kinds of things, because it's a huge process when I buy like a 10-pound bag of sugar from wherever, and this just works really well for the products like what we're doing here today. Beans and more beans.
Today.
Now,
Pints, quarts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done it on the big
food saver.
gallon and a half.
Oh yeah, we have done the big gallon and a halves too. We sure have.
For putting away dry goods and stuff. So
even sugars, it works really well. There you go. Now it sounds right. With the big food saver we have, you can really hear it. This has to be anchored a specific way to make sure you can seal the jars. Now you guys, I have a secret I have to tell you. My mama told me is when you use your beans, soak it the night before in some salt water, and it works really well. It sucks so well, it sucked it all down, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
It says it wants to play, which I need it to do that anyway. It wants to play with the big jars now. So
the big boys. Huh?
That was releasing the regular mouth size. Get all my kidneys all together here.
Hey, honey, will you do me a
You
favor?
take this off.
And scoot those two jars in front of you to the left. That's to the left or that's to the right. I don't care. These two jars right here. That way they can see what you're doing. There you go.
They can see what I'm doing. This was the last jar of those, and then I was going to move it, but
All
that's
right, okay,
fine.
That's fine.
But you take this attachment off, which is your regular mounts, which you've been done with those. And then on the inside, it's got the same setup, a little snap ring in there. And it goes to your large mounts. And the same process. We'll draw her down.
Almost there.
Pretty much. I'm going to go to 40 like I have been. And we'll turn her off. Twist and pull.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Large mouth seal.
Voila!
So, navy beans. Kidney beans. A jar of pintos. I don't know if you can hear that. It starts off a low tone, and as it sucks out the air, it gets higher and higher pitched. And since our reserves are low, I will be buying some more just to stock up on the shelf.
Probably a good idea.
Who doesn't like a kidney bean salad or something like that during the summertime? You gotta have your kidney beans. It's not just a wintertime meal, you know. You want beans with something, you make up some beans with something. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
There's my jar of pintos. And since we're low and slow, this is a mixed jar of red and pintos, which we've already been discussing. We've got some lentils downstairs, We've got some black beans downstairs. Some of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think we were
That
out
would
of
be
the,
a 5-bean soup.
well, I think we were out of the white northern, now we're not. We need some more white northern on the shelf.
Right. But I'm just saying with,
Sure.
we have northerns, we have pintos, we have kidneys. I know we have a jar of black downstairs and some lentils. That's 5-bean soup right there. So
That'd be good.
good stuff.
Would you cook that with beef or would you cook that with pork? Do you think?
I don't know, probably like a ham and beans type.
Sure. With the ham hock, I've got ham
Put
hocks.
some carrot in
Sure.
it.
Onion. It makes a nice gravy, I do know that.
Nice, thick, and delightful. Oh, I think done, sealed.
Anything else you want to tell the viewers today, Mr. Martin?
Well, I know a lot of the things you see are kind of redundant, but that's all part of canning and stuff. Not every time you see something it's going to be new to you, but some people it may be. So, stating that, if you want to see some other videos that we've put together of a similar basis of vacuum canning and stuff, check out a couple videos down here. It might be fun. You know, just see what we've done throughout the year and stuff. What you can vacuum pack. There's naysayers, there's no sayers, there's just do what you do. You can do it. Everybody, it's not that hard. This is about as easy as you can do. Putting away dry goods is totally so simple. Once you've opened it, you don't have to use the whole thing. You can vacuum can it down. Like I said, if you live in a small apartment, this does not take up a lot of room. It recharges nicely. Once you learn to play with the little gizmo, you make up a batch of beans, you got half a bag left over and you got an empty jar, throw it in the jar, vacuum pack it. It'll still be there the next time you need it. So this is Ken with Andrea Cans, and
This is Andrea Swain Martin with Andrea Cans, and thank you for going out and liking and subscribing to our channel. We hope you're doing well today on this very cold day, and we wanted to make sure you were able to see how simple it is to vacuum seal and put away items that you might be able to use at a later date. So you take care. Bye.
bye everyone.